Patrick, thanks very much for having me this morning. The weather, of course, is fantastic, very warm. Only a back protector on you this morning. Not long to go now. Galway kicks off on Monday. The amateur race on the first day is the big one. There's not many races that you haven't won, Patrick, and it is one that eludes you.
It is, yeah. This will be my 14th or 15th go at it, I'd say. Maybe a bit less.
But like Frankie in the Derby until Authorised came along.
Yeah, so yeah, it seems to be statistically you need to be kind of 11 stone or less nearly. So
and your bottom weight being 11.1.
11.1 at a stretch. So it's hard. You know, we've a good few entered in this year. The one I'd probably like to ride is Exchange Rate. He's won around the track. He's only a little small horse, but he's very tough. We'll able to get in the gaps and get his way out of trouble. But probably at 10-12 or even 10-13, I won't be able to ride him, but we'll see. They might be able to go up. So Hook Up might be the most likely one I might ride if we decide to go there with her. She's 11 stone, might do a pound over on her. Again, she's a small little filly, but she's unexposed on the flat, and she's not a fantastic hurdler, so she might be one that's actually better on the flat than she is over hurdles.
MC Muldoon heads the weights. He won't run, I take it.
Well, I think it'll be unlikely. I mean, you know, like the stats say, top weights they can place all right, but I imagine Willie might find something easier on him. That's the way I'd be thinking at the moment.
He looking back in Royal Ascot, he was very unlucky, just beating a short head under Ryan Moore. Ran a cracker in that race.
He did. He was unlucky. You know, they probably didn't go as fast as we thought they would. The winner sat handy all the way, so you probably would fancy him in a rematch. And I was very unlucky in Punchdown as well. I rode him in a hurdle there. I didn't get any run as well. So there's a big day in him somewhere.
Definitely. Tell people a little bit insight of Galway. How difficult is it in terms of for you jockeys to ride it? What's important? What sort of horse do you need?
It's a tight track, obviously very undulating. The pace is what puts apart. If they go a real strong gallop, that hill comes into play and you can take your time a bit. You can arrive a bit later. But more often than not, over jumps now you'll find they don't tend to go that strong gallop, and it ends up being quite slowly run. And if that's the case, then it becomes quite congested. There's a lot of traffic because obviously you turn that tight bend past the castle, you're running downhill, so horses who are running on fumes can still keep going down the hill a bit, and then you're turning tight uphill. So if you go the inside, chances are you might get a run, but if you go wide, everyone fans out and you could get pushed very wide. So you need a lot of luck. You need a horse that is able to travel, which has the pace to go forward, get a position, hold it, but then settle. A lot of horses, you know, if you go forward and put the gun to their head, they can just do too much, run too keen. So you need a horse who's able to go forward but yet settle and not expend too much energy early on in the race.
Then switching to the hurdle, then it's a race that you have a great record in with your father. Yeah, I think your father's won 3 of the last 5 runnings. You've won 2 of the last 3 runnings for your dad, of course, last year and the year before, 2 years previous to that on Sharjah. What do you think you'll ride in that?
I'm not sure there's nothing for me this year. Yeah, it's been a very lucky race with Aramon and Sharjah. So Saldier is obviously their top weight. He'll have other options as well, and we're not sure if he's really an out 2 miler anymore. You know, he's sticking up to 3 miles there. He has options on the flat as well. Burning Victory could be very interesting. She's not the most natural jumper, but she's a Triumph Hurdle winner, albeit a bit lucky, with 10-12. So if she turns up there, she'd be the #1 shot. But again, a bit like Max Dynamite, would her jumping allow her to hold a good enough position? That'd be the question mark against her. And then Ciel de Neige could be the dark horse.
Okay.
He's a horse there. He's ran very well in a lot of handicaps, so he's not that he's unexposed or anything, but he's just one of those, if everything fell right on the day, he could pop up.
And looking at the plate then, similar amount of entries in the plate as well your dad has?
We've lots more that'll get into the plate. I mean, the hurdlers a lot enter, but I don't think most of them will get in at the bottom. Easy Game has a lot of weight, 11.9, it'll make life difficult. Dry Ground will suit him. Koshari right down the bottom is eye-catching. I mean, to get in there, one of ours lightweight, right kind of unexposed profile. Again though with him, his jumping can let him down over fences, so you will be taking that on trust. But he's in great form. He won a hurdle and Punchdown. Live Love Laugh is there, 11 stone, 2 mile 5, being an ideal type of race for him, but just you wonder, is he maybe after topping out in his handicap? He's an 11-year-old after winning the Topham. Animix has the right kind of profile as well, 11-3, unexposed, question mark again over his jumping, and maybe getting up the hill as well might be tough for him. I think Well Rendezvous was probably our most obvious choice. He was second in last year off a similar weight again. You know Johannes track, he's in great form. He's probably the number one shot.
10 years since your dad won the race?
Yeah, Blazing Tempo.
That's correct,
Blazing
in 2011.
Tempo, yeah, who was a mare I won a bump runner for Willie Austin in Punchtown. We bought her off the Austins, so it's a very difficult race to win, and but hopefully maybe we can get back on the score sheet.
A mare who's very interesting, I think, is Jazz Away. She was second at the festival last year, and she was beaten by Miss Milner, Paul Nolan's mare, who went on then to win at Cheltenham. We didn't see Jazz Away again until back in the end of April, where she won in Punchestown and just got up on the line in a very competitive handicap hurdle. Will she go? She probably won't get into the Galway hurdle, so she'll probably go to the other race then?
Yeah, it's looking likely she won't get in. You know, it looks unlikely at the moment, so you'd love to get her in there. She's only very small. Conor McNamara gave her a great ride in Punchestown. She's a half-sister of Briar Hill, a fantastic pedigree, that Burgage stud pedigree. Yeah, I imagine maybe the 2-5 race might be the one for her, but again, she's a small filly, so a lightweight is key for her.
And then we won't go through many more races, but is there anything there in terms of the bumpers? She's always have strong hands in bumpers. Anything that stands out?
I think I'm looking forward to riding Astro Diamond, the winner's bumper, 4-year-old filly. She won very well in Wexford.
She was very impressive that day.
She
in
was.
What I'd say was a good race.
And the second horse came out and won well since, Bantown Girl. She's a great pedigree. It's the pedigree of Kella Spree and under 2 going back. So 4-year-old filly, it's difficult now for them to take on their elders. I think she'd only have 11-3, so I'll be watching the weight. And but I think she's very good. Probably we have a horse, maybe Dad's Lad in the 2-2 bumper. He was very unlucky in Galway last year, not at the festival. So we know Johannes the track, and he's been kept for this. And then Purple Mountain is another mare who might go. She could go for a maiden hurdle or for the 1.5 amateur maiden. She's the pedigree, great real Galway pedigree. It goes back to Blackstairs Mountain, Diamond Hill, Mount Leinster. It's a homebred Jackie bredder, so she won a listed bumper in Goran. She's one to watch out for.
Before I let you go, the winter horses then, they'll all come back in the week after Galway?
Yeah, we get them all back. We get Galway out of the way, get them all back in, get them started. Like as everyone knows, we're never in too much of a rush at the start of the season, so step them up slowly, take our time. So yeah, it's always an exciting couple of weeks there. The first 10 days and they're all back.
Absolutely. Galway though, Patrick, obviously Punchestown Festival, Cheltenham, Aintree, Leopardstown at Christmas and Dublin Race Festival. Galway's massive, isn't it?
It is. It's one of the great festivals, and the fact that it's the real summer festival as well. You get a great. Obviously, this year you won't have the crowd as such, but there's always a great crack, and you can feel that atmosphere. The stands are so close to the finish, and also the parade ring. There's a great atmosphere there. It's a unique place.
Good. Listen, thanks very much for having me this morning. It was great to see the place, see the horses on the gallop, and very best of luck next week.
Great. Well.